You found a charge-off on your credit report and now you're searching for a way to get rid of it. Maybe you've already been down a rabbit hole of advice online. Maybe you've seen ads promising to clean up your credit fast. Maybe someone told you there's a magic letter you can send that makes negative items disappear. And now you're trying to figure out what's real and what isn't. This video is going to give you a straight answer, because there's a lot of noise around this topic, and most of it is either misleading, incomplete, or designed to sell you something. Let's start with the honest truth about charge-off removal. A charge-off that is accurate and legitimate is very difficult to remove before its natural expiration date. That date is 7 years from the first missed payment that led to the charge-off. After 7 years, it comes off your report automatically. Before that, if the information is correct, the credit bureaus are under no obligation to remove it, and most of the time, they won't. That's the reality, and any service, company, or letter template that promises guaranteed removal of accurate negative information is either misleading you or operating in a gray area that could create more problems than it solves. But here's where it gets more nuanced, because there are legitimate paths forward, and they are worth understanding clearly. The first path is disputing an error. If the charge-off on your report contains inaccurate information, the wrong date, the wrong balance, the wrong account status, or information that simply doesn't belong to you, you have the legal right to dispute it. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the credit bureau has 30 days to investigate your dispute. If they cannot verify the accuracy of the information, they are required to remove it or correct it. This is a legitimate process, and it works when there is a genuine error to dispute. The key word there is genuine. Disputing accurate information simply because you don't like it is not a strategy. It's a temporary inconvenience for the bureau that almost always ends with the item being verified and remaining on your report. The second path is a Goodwill deletion request. This is a letter you write directly to the original creditor, not the credit bureau, asking them to remove the charge-off as a gesture of goodwill, typically because the account has since been paid or settled and you have an otherwise positive history. Some creditors will honor this request, many won't. There is no legal obligation for them to do so, but it costs nothing to ask, and occasionally it works, especially if the charge-off is older and the account has been resolved. The third path is a pay-for-delete agreement. This is an arrangement where you negotiate with the creditor or collection agency to remove the negative entry from your credit report in exchange for payment. This used to be more common than it is today. Most major creditors and collection agencies no longer agree to pay for delete arrangements because credit bureaus have tightened their policies around it. But some smaller collection agencies still entertain the conversation. If you pursue this route, get the agreement in writing before you pay a single dollar. A verbal promise means nothing. Now let's talk about what to do if none of those paths result in removal. The charge-off stays on your report, but its impact fades over time. A charge-off from 5 years ago carries significantly less weight than one from 5 months ago. The most damage happens in the early period. As time passes and you build positive credit history around it, on-time payments, low utilization, responsible account management, your score will recover even with the charge-off still present. Paying or settling the charge-off won't remove it, but it will update the status on your report to reflect that it has been resolved. That matters. Future lenders can see the difference between an unpaid charge-off and one that has been addressed. It won't erase the history, but it changes the story the report tells about you. There is no shortcut here, but there is a clear path forward, and understanding what actually works versus what sounds good in an ad is the most valuable thing you can take from this video.